Yo, Ben,
Yeah.
you played Castle Crashers because it's like $15 on Steam.
Have I played what?
Castle Crashers.
I haven't heard that name in years. Let me tell you a story, my nephew.
Hey, wait, what?
Castle Crash. It's a title you probably haven't heard since the prime days of the Xbox 360 era, mainly being around 2010 or the Modern Warfare days era.
You guys fucking learn how to actually play the fucking game and talk.
Shoot a gun, dog. Learn how to fucking shoot a gun, you
fucking
pussy.
riot shield. What else you want me to
Oh, riot shield. I'm a pussy that use riot shield.
Oh, now I'm a what do you want me to use?
Faggot.
You tell me what you want me to use.
Made by the behemoth, Castle Crashers is a phenomenal game. But here's the question. Is it actually good, or am I just seeing it through a nostalgic filter? Being that I was quite the gamer back then, of course I spent a lot of time on this game. So why not try and judge it during the time of being extremely bored? The story is pretty weak, if I'm going to be frank. 4 princesses get captured, given to other kidnappers, and held hostage until you save them. Pretty simple, right? Until you see the ending. What the fuck? The story, even though weak, is well presented and all without messy dialogue. The only characters that really talk is the princesses, and that's about it. Past all that, the story isn't even bad nor good. It's okay. The story is easy to grasp and characters are sort of built upon. I mean, we never really understand why they kidnapped the princesses, so they just did it because villain bad? I don't know. I guess a simple storyline is what makes Castle Crashers fun, since there really is no emphasis on story. This is another case where the story doesn't matter argument comes into play. Games like Doom and Minecraft have a story, but it's not really important to the core game. Yeah, it's there, but does it need to be? Don't get me wrong, the story makes a game much more enjoyable, but you also need a new game like Animal Crossing New Horizons or New Leaf. Okay, so aside from the story, what about presentation? Presentation is great. From musical to actual level art, the levels are astounding in detail. Backdrops have their own events going on in the back to really bring the world to life, and some are even callbacks to previous levels or the next section. You even find a guy watching clips before he sees you, which is really cool. Everything's greatly defined, and the enemies, my god, the enemies. The actual names are never really given to you at the start, so you're like, oh shit, it's a chainsaw guy. Is that a toad or a frog? But the art for the enemies are great, and each one has their own recognizable style. And music, it's amazing. Have you heard the fucking starting level? They have songs from people like Waterflame, same guy whose song is in Geometry Dash out of all things. The music makes you feel like a badass. Not Doom Eternal badass, but badass. The music mixed in with level design makes each level stand out in its own way. I remember first playing the forest segment, and the world building mixed in with the mysterious song in the back made the experience that more
Yeah, okay, it looks cool, but is it fun? So because I have the money for it. So...
Listen here, you little cuck, I'm getting to that. Just be patient.
Damn, bro, alright, I'm doing about 10 minutes, so come on, hurry up.
What your pussy's talking about?
Ben's talking about a game that I won that he's played, but he's been talking about it for 5 minutes already.
And I'm gonna keep going.
Please don't.
Gameplay is satisfying as all hell. Just beating the shit out of enemies is fun as fuck, especially with the amount of weapons this game offers. There's weapons ranging from basic swords to god tier swords with elemental effects. Some do critical damage, which increases the damage rarely. It's like a one-hit buff. One time, one hit will do a lot of damage, but it's a fucking rarity. Or the sword could also do fire damage, which, it's in the name. Each enemy has a unique ability, and some require you to fight differently. For example, the Barbarian versus the Conehead. Had to Google these motherfuckers because I didn't even know who they were. The Barbarian you can easily juggle in the air due to them being light, while the Conehead you gotta stay on the ground because the armor is too heavy for you to launch into the air. The attention to detail is absolutely amazing. It's shit like that that's just awesome. Combos are easy to do once you learn how to mash the X and Y buttons on your Xbox controller. Seriously, that's all you need? But if you play this game on keyboard, it's a sin. Trust me. I read it in Gandhi's 2020 novel, Castle Crashers, the game for Xbox. Something I did realize, though, was that the game felt more difficult than I remember, so either the remastered version is harder or I just suck. Fuck. I mean, the bosses are a great and good challenge, but the final boss is just bad. It looks great, sure, but there really is no challenge. Sure, the other bosses and the other stages were pretty difficult, and I had to use potions a lot of times just to get past them, but the final boss, I beat him first fucking try. Sure, the 3 phases were a neat idea, but it just wasn't that difficult compared to the rest of the other stages that I just fucking beat. And with the addition of being able to play as a large amount of enemies you fight against, it makes replaying the game great. Sort of. I never really replayed the game more than 2 times, that's mainly because beating the game with the Ice Knight, this guy, grants you the character that does the most damage already. So why beat the game more than once when you already have the best character unlocked? It sort of ruins the replayability, but it's a $15 game I'm talking about. The minigames are a nice time killer and give pretty good rewards in the way of a new character. What? Arenas are a great addition to the map, but after a while you start to notice that the rewards are really pitiful. Sure, you get new characters every time you complete one, but seriously? Couldn't offer some gold or something? I mean, I literally took on a bunch of enemies by myself, and I get a new character that isn't even as good as what I already got beating the game with the Ice Knight, but I get a weaker one. I know it sounds like I'm nitpicking here, but at the same time, this has always been an issue with me, even back when I was a kid. I always thought that these arenas would give you some better reward, not just a new character. The new mode, Back Off Barbarian, is not a good mode. As much as I want to say it, I just don't like it. Especially compared to the old mode, All You Can Quaff. All You Can Quaff was a pure button masher. That, you know, you just stuff your face with food and then just ring the bell. It was a nice, really good competitive thing. Back Off Barbarian is just avoids enemies for a certain time, which is nothing compared to the OG mode. I guess it's either nostalgia I have for the old mode, but Back Off Barbarian is just not for me. I mean, I understand why people may like it more, but at the same time, All You Can Quaff was just something that I held dear to my heart because of how fun that fucking game was. I remember just playing it with the AIs. I never even played it with my friends. It was just funny just to fucking click A and Y. As much as I love Castle Crashers, it has some flaws that I most likely ignored when I was a kid. I love the game to death, but looking at it from an objective standpoint, it's a great game for the price.
So you said all of this just tell me that I like it because it's fun.
Yeah, pretty much.
Damn, bro, why am I friends with you?
Dang, I could have made 4 packets of instant noodles, and I've been sitting here wasting my fucking time.